Welcome to Footprints of God, our space about nature and history. When it's not raining and the weather is clear, we often enjoy clear starry nights. In the night sky, we can see tons of stars greeting us from up above. Many people find it relaxing to look at the stars and try to see the shapes they make. Stars have always been a source of poetry, curiosity, observation, and wonder. Full of symbolism and meaning, they seem to have a message for us as we look up at them from Earth, as if they have answers to our questions, as if they could speak to our hearts. In ancient times, very little was known about the stars. It was estimated that there were only a few hundred of them, and the different groups of stars or constellations were named after what they seemed to draw in the sky: a centaur, a man, a scale, or a chariot. Today, thanks to modern observation tools, we know that the number of stars is much, much larger. We just can't see them with the naked eye. Stars are huge balls of burning gas that constantly give off energy due to thermonuclear reactions, and because of this, they give off light. The Sun is the closest star to Earth, and therefore the most studied. Stars are classified according to their size and brightness. The average size varies a lot. It is accepted that most stars are about the same size as the Sun, but there are much smaller ones and also much larger ones, sometimes reaching a size 100 times larger than our Sun. The brightness, color, and luminosity of stars depend on their size, mass, and composition. For example, there are supergiant stars, red giants, white dwarfs, supernovas, novas, neutron stars, pulsars, and black holes. When we look at the stars from Earth, they seem to twinkle. But this has nothing to do with their brightness. It's caused by the Earth's atmosphere interfering with the bending of light, making them seem to shimmer. The number of stars in the universe is beyond counting. They are grouped together in huge clusters called galaxies, and there are so many that astronomers can only estimate how many there are. The distance to the stars is also enormous. Astronomers calculate distance using light years, with 1 light year being the distance light travels in 1 year at a speed of 186,000 miles per second, which is over 5.8 trillion miles. The closest star to us after the Sun is Alpha Centauri, which is more than 4 light years away. The stars seem to move during the night, except for the North Star. This movement from east to west is because the Earth rotates from west to east. On the other hand, the stars always seem to have the same position relative to each other, as if they were fixed. However, there is evidence that shows that stars are traveling at high speeds. In fact, our Sun is traveling, along with Earth and the other planets of the solar system, at the incredible speed of 12 miles per second, and is moving closer to the constellation of Hercules. Many stars are so far away from us that where we see a single point of light with our eyes, there are actually 2 or 3 stars like the North Star. There are also double stars, one brighter than the other. Algol, for example, a star in the constellation Perseus, has a companion that rotates with it. Sometimes Algol is very bright, and other times much less so. This is because its companion gets between it and Earth and blocks its light for a few hours. It's impossible to imagine how big the universe is and how many stars it might contain. The telescopes made by man can't see it all. For now, our impression is that the universe is infinite. One night, my 7-year-old son asked, "Mom, why are there so many stars?" And I answered him, "So we can know that God exists. He has reflected His glory, His power, and His goodness in all of creation. In the stars, we can especially see the greatness and the generosity with which He does things. We see His greatness if we think about the distances that separate us from the stars and the vastness of the universe. We see His generosity in the incredible number of them that He has made." But the most important lesson that the stars teach us is that God does things far beyond what we can see and understand. Our eyes can only see a few hundred stars, but in reality there are billions more that we don't see, and yet they are there. This means that what we can see of God with our physical eyes is very limited. But in reality, He does much more than we see. His plans are always greater than we dare to dream. God is pleased with the man and woman who trust in Him, beyond what the eyes see or reason understands. Even though we may not understand it, God has prepared things for our lives that we can't even imagine. The Bible says, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, what God has prepared for those who love Him." Wouldn't you like to know what God has prepared for you? Only if you put your life entirely in His hands will He lead you to the purpose full of goodness and greatness that He has for you. But if you continue to stay away from God, living according to your own will and your own plans, you will never know what God had prepared for you. You will continue to live on this earth by your own strength. And when you die, you will not be able to meet God because you will remain separated from Him forever. The next clear night, go to the window and think about these things when you look at the stars. May God bless you greatly.